Hi, I am very happy to welcome you back to another chakra meditation of the chakra series. Today we are going to meet and explore the powerful throat chakra together. And in the Hindu Sanskrit tradition, the name for the throat chakra is the Vishuddha, and it's seen as a portal, a gateway. It's that location in the body which almost connects the lower chakras with the higher chakras. And like every other chakra, this chakra has an expression in the highest sense, an expression in the lowest sense. So in the highest sense, the throat chakra is our center of authentic expression and communication, integrity, connection to the highest truth. And in the lowest sense, it's also the seat of the superego. According to one of my teachers, Craig Holliday, he very beautifully describes it as the seed of the superego, which we're also gonna explore in this meditation. Today I chose to pick one of my crystals for the meditation. I hope you can see it. It's a beautiful clear quartz cluster, and I felt it had a vibration that matches the qualities of the throat chakra, because it's all about clarity. And I might do that more often now in the future. Pick a crystal that I feel is a vibrational match for these meditations, and then it can assist us during the time of meditating together. So I'll place that here, and it will watch over us for the next maybe 20 minutes. Okay. And for this meditation, I invite you again to find a spot where you're undisturbed, where you can let go and give yourself to this experience for the next 20 minutes maybe. Find a quiet place where you can settle down, and you can choose whatever position for this guided inquiry meditation, whether that's lying down or sitting upright, whatever is your preferred position of inquiry or relaxation meditation. And when you found your spot, I also invite you to close your eyes and just give yourself fully to this experience. Let yourself be guided. There's nothing for you to do right now other than surrender to this experience, feeling deep inquiry, shared exploration of this particular chakra together. And just arrive here with me in the here and the now of this shared moment. Notice the surface underneath you're sitting on or lying on. Notice how your body connects with this surface. And draw your attention to your breath, how the breath enters and leaves the body in its most natural rhythm. Just really feel into your body for a moment. How does your body feel today? If there's anything distracting you in the mind, a mental activity, or even thoughts that are a bit loud today or persistent, we may acknowledge them together, but for the time being we're not engaging with the thoughts. So we just let them be there, let them pass through, let the fireworks show and play itself out without any interest or engagement. And just really notice how you, as this wonderful, immortal, divine being, how you inhabit this form right now. That which is aware of the comings and goings of life. That which is aware of ever-changing sensations in the body or emotions. Well, what is it in us that remains still, unshaken by that? That's our eternal essence. And I invite you to slowly travel and journey to the part in your body where your throat chakra is located. Basically the center of the throat and the neck. And before we get to know the chakra together, for a moment just notice how does the area around the throat chakra, the neck, how does it feel somatically for you today? Just really feel into it physically. The throat chakra encompasses a very broad area around it, like it's not just the throat itself, it's also linked to the jaw and the jaw muscles, your mouth, and even the neck and the shoulders. That's all connected to the throat chakra. So is there maybe even some tension there in one of those areas, some clenching? Many of us experience like a jaw clenching or tension often on the path, or tight, tense shoulders. Or do you even experience classic throat sensations, like whatever it is for you. Maybe you don't experience any of that. It's just not so much sensation there at all. That's fine. That's your experience in this moment. Just honor your direct experience. Just get a feel for this area. How often do we actually connect with these places in our bodies in a conscious way? And just remain there for a moment. Now, as I announced earlier, the throat chakra is often a bit of a mysterious chakra on the path, because not many beings are aware of what it actually stands for, what it actually represents. So, on the one hand, the throat chakra, of course, as the name suggests, is the center of communication. It's your center of expression, unique expression and authentic expression. So you could inquire for yourself when it comes to communicating with other people, or just in general expressing yourself. Do you feel you're able to do that from a place of freedom, from a place of integrity, a place of honesty? Do you feel you have to hide away something, you have to make yourself small in conversation, hold parts of you back? Like, we can all inquire together for a moment in daily life when we speak to other people. And sometimes we make these unconscious micro decisions to not fully speak our truth with that particular person, or we actually want to express something but we choose not to. And then we can ask ourselves, what is it that blocks us from doing so? Is it like a fear if I express myself in the way I really would want to? Is there a fear of judgment, for example? Is there a fear of social rejection? It's like many of us, we learn when we're children and we grow up. If I speak the truth now, what might be the consequence of that? You want to say something, but at the same time you fear the consequence. And this pattern is very much still active in many of us. And for example, when we people please, that's also a form of throat chakra blockage, because it's tailoring our words in order to please someone else, or to not, experience some sort of confrontation. Just choose the easy way. You can just very compassionately and gently feel into, like, how do I relate in my day-to-day life when it comes to authentic relating and communication and integrity? How do I experience that? we can also ask ourselves, are we quick to judge others? It's like also another theme of the throat chakra, judgment. And sometimes when we ourselves have a big fear of being judged, then that can actually point to a projection that we ourselves are easy to judge other people. I've noticed that in myself. Like when I was dealing with a lot of fear around judgment, I noticed, I'm actually judging a lot unconsciously. It happens in subtle ways. So just take a moment and really inquire honestly for yourself. So this chakra very much represents freedom of expression, the freedom of just being yourself in the world. Another very, very, very important and interesting aspect of this chakra and is that it's the seat of the superego. You have to imagine like when Kundalini energy, for example, is active in us, or we experience any other form of spiritual transformation, then eventually every chakra is met sooner or later by this energy to heal blockages and to just, and when the Kundalini hits the throat chakra, that's something very special, because the throat chakra is something like a bottleneck. If you imagine the neck of a bottle, it's like the part that's very narrow where the Kundalini energy actually has not necessarily a hard time, but it takes a lot of pressure to work through this chakra, because it's like this bottleneck part that connects our lower chakras with the higher chakras. And when Kundalini pierces through this very center and can create a lot of varied sensations there. I remember only recently I experienced a very, very intense throat chakra opening. Probably one of many. And I just couldn't talk for days. It was like a burning, acidy fire was sitting in my throat. I couldn't swallow, I couldn't talk, and it was definitely no infection. I know that for sure. And people, they experience all sorts of things, they have a stiff neck or stiff shoulders, or the head all of a sudden during meditation wants to do certain like circling movements, or it's a very, very critical center where this energy pierces through, this bottleneck, as Craig Holliday describes it. And it's, like I mentioned, the center, the seed of the superego. And what is the superego? It's that part within us that basically lives from a state of fear and survival. defending, judgment, cause and effect, victimhood, being above, being below. And when we have a very strong superego, it takes a lot of pressure and heat to work through that center. Maybe you yourself have experienced sensations in the throat on your path. Is all that which is ultimately not us, all that which doesn't represent our true nature. And it doesn't mean that the ego or even the superego is bad. Sometimes there's this, oh, the ego is something to really get rid of on this path. But it's this thing that keeps us living or perceiving from separation rather than unity and oneness. And sometimes there's different parts that live within us, the ones amongst you who've done internal healing work with internal family systems or parts work, you know, that one part in us can perceive the world in a completely different light, where our consciousness, our true self actually sees it for what it is. But there's these parts within us that are still locked up in an old way of thinking or feeling, or traumatized parts that keep projecting. And that's all part of the superego. And that's why this throat chakra center is so powerful and important on the path. You can envision it almost like a gate, like a portal. I love the image of it being like some sort of gate that's opening in my throat. And the color that is associated with this Vishuddha chakra is a bright, light blue color. So I invite you to once more feel into your throat chakra. Feel into it physically. Feel into it emotionally, energetically. And with this inquiry, maybe you've met some parts within you that want some attention or some healing. Maybe you've found something within your way of communicating with others or expressing yourself that doesn't feel completely authentic with you. Maybe you feel absolutely clear and blasted open in your throat chakra. That's incredible and beautiful too. Maybe you've done a lot of healing in this area recently. And maybe you're meeting this gate, this portal for the very first time today. And whatever it is for you, that's your experience, and it's beautiful as it is. I slowly invite you to draw your attention away from the chakra now into the rest of your body. Notice now how the body feels. Become aware of your breath again. And notice subtle and little background noises in the room. Become aware of your environment slowly. Just arrive back here in this shared space of the meditation, this inquiry, whatever you want to call it. And in your own time, you can also blink your eyes open. And I welcome you back to the shared space of the video. I hope this little throat chakra inquiry was beneficial and helpful to you. I really felt the presence of our crystal today, and I'm sure I'll do that more often. Next time we will explore another incredibly powerful gate on the spiritual awakening path, a very important one, and that's the third eye chakra. So I hope you join me again, and I hope you like these little mini meditations. And if you would like to share your experience, you're very welcome to do that in the comment section. If you want to support my work, you can also subscribe to the channel. And looking forward very much to seeing you next time. Namaste.